wrench here, my OJOCAM 0801, and this is what's been being used as a dash cam on my car for the past couple years, and it's developed a problem. Observe. Normally how these things operate is when they receive power, they start to record on their own, and they record everything that happens in front of the car. And now you see I'm getting this message. Proceed with movie recovery. Movie recovery will fail. And it will go into record, and it's been shutting off on its own. So this thing might be ready for the bin, but here's something I've observed. When the power goes off, normally there's a battery that will keep this thing running long enough to shut down and save the file. Watch what happens as soon as I unplug the power. So I have a feeling that maybe the problem with this is the battery internal has gone bad. That's what I'm hoping. So let's crack this sucker open and see whether we can find a battery in here and replace it. I think there might be an end cap. Aha! We pop the end cap off here, and there's screws that we can remove. And that should make this thing a little bit easier to take apart. The front of it has clips on it to hold it together, but the base here is going to have to come off first, and maybe that's even where the battery is located. It's going to be a rechargeable battery of some type, I'm thinking. Or maybe even a large capacitor. But if we remove that, now the case probably can split. Maybe not. I think we have to remove this ring as well. See that? I gotta remove the ring. And that's going to have probably some connections on it. There we go. That lifts up like that, it just pops away. There are connections there, so you have to be careful not to damage them, but once you've got that ring separated, we're able to open the case up. And here's the battery right here. There is a little battery in here. It's a little lithium battery, it looks like. So we'll just take this little battery and see if we can replace it, because I'm sure that that's probably all that's wrong with this unit, is that battery here has got a problem. So there's our battery, and it's all bulged, so you can tell that this battery is probably on its last legs. It's a 3.7 volt. It's a little polymer lithium battery. I'm going to see if I can locate one of these things and see if we can replace this and make this thing work again. Okay, I have a new battery here. The new battery is not the same capacity as the original one. It's a little smaller battery, which is fine, because in this application it's not really being used to power the camera up. All it's being used to do is to supply power long enough so that once the main power is shut off, it supplies enough power for the camera to shut down and write the file. So the original was a 350, I think it's 350 milliamp hour. I'm going to put up at 110 milliamp hour, which will be enough. Again, it doesn't need to power the camera up for any more than a few seconds. That's all it does, is just keeps it powered up for a few seconds until the system can shut down. So I clipped the leads off the old battery. I just left just enough here so that I can see which terminal goes to where. And I'm just going to remove the original ones. Trying, of course, not to damage the plastic case. Here's my negative and positive leads removed. Positive is on the left. So we'll just tin the leads on the new battery and install it. solder down the positive and the negative lead. And now we can just stick the battery back where it was before, which is just right in the front of the camera here. It can just sit anywhere in here. There's still some sticky tape there from before, so we'll just reuse the same sticky tape that held the other battery in place. Just kind of tuck it out of the way. Now we can put the camera back together. So we got to get our little speaker back in place. The speaker fits into this little opening on the front here. So this is the speaker here. I think it's the speaker. Yeah, it's the speaker. The microphone's on top. So put the little speaker back in place. The wires on this thing are incredibly short, so you don't have a lot of room to work with this thing. The speaker goes in place like that. Now we can put the front cover back on. Just tuck everything in and snap the front cover back in place. Which is sometimes easier said than done. Oh, I've got my lead for my power and GPS is kind of trapped in the way here. I gotta get that out of the way. Okay, like that. Now this should just fit back together. And then my little speaker fell out again. Ah! It's a pain in the ass, this thing. The whole thing just kind of pops together like that, and then this rotating ring, the clip that holds it up to the windshield, you got to tuck this wire out of the way. And that should snap back on place too, somehow in here, like that, I think. And that's how you rotate the camera to set your shot. And now, I should be able to put the base back on it here. Battery's got some charge in it. Not much. Just plug it in and see if it turns on. Yeah, it's got a picture, and of course the battery doesn't have a charge in it yet, so it's not going to run on the battery until it gets a charge. I think the little speaker might, yeah, I think the speaker is actually in place. So we'll just put this cap back on, put the screws back in it, and oh, you know what? This little ball bearing came out. This is what I know where it goes. There's a little spring. I saw it on this cover here. There it is. There's a little spring here. This little ball fits in there. What it does is it ratchets it so that it holds it in place. You can hear it. That's your ratchet for when it's on your dash. Are mounted to the windshield so that it holds it in position. And I should be able to just snap this cover back on somehow. Like that and line up the screws and put the screws back in. Stick our little decorative cover back on. Replace the memory card. And when I apply power, the camera should go into record automatically. There we go, we've got power applied. OJOCAM. And oh yes, don't have to proceed with movie recovery because I'm going to have to format the card anyway. But there it goes, recording full HD. So I'm going to shut it off here, let the battery get a bit of a charge on it, and then we'll put it back in the car and check it all out. So that's how you replace a defective battery on one of these OJOCAM 0801 cameras. It's a great little unit. I know there's newer ones out and so forth, but for what it cost, I think it was $6 for the battery, it was certainly worthwhile replacing it as opposed to throwing the camera away and spending another $100 on another one. Thanks for watching.